Okay, so right now, this very second, an invisible war is raging inside your body. Seriously. You're getting bombarded by all sorts of invaders, but lucky for you, you've got this super sophisticated defense force working 24/7. So let's meet the two specialized armies that make up your incredible immune system. I mean, think about it. Every single day, you and I are exposed to this universe of microorganisms and even our own cells that could go rogue. And most of the time, we don't even notice a thing. And that's all because our body's defense system is just so good at shutting down these threats before they can even get started.
So, if you picture your body as a fortress, right? Well, all those pathogens are like a relentless enemy just pounding at the gates. And your immune system, that's your standing army. It's the guards on the wall and it's the elite soldiers, all rolled into one incredible defense force, constantly protecting you.
But here's the thing. This army isn't just one big, disorganized mob. Nope, it's cleverly split into two main branches, and each one has a totally different strategy. You've got your fast, general-purpose unit, the first responders, and then you've got your slower, elite special forces unit that's all about precision. And here they are, the innate and the adaptive immune systems. The innate system is that immediate, ready-for-anything response. The adaptive system, on the other hand, is a bit slower, but way more specialized. What's really cool is that some cells actually bridge the gap between them, kind of playing for both teams. So let's really dig into what makes each of these divisions tick. So, the biggest difference really comes down to their approach. Your innate army, they're the first responders. They're fast, they're general, and you're born with them ready to go. Then you've got the adaptive army. They're your special forces. Slower to get going, sure, but they are incredibly specific. And get this, they learn from every single battle, so their skills are acquired over your lifetime. All right, let's start with that first line of defense. We're going to meet the innate immune system. Think of these guys as the immediate frontline soldiers who are always on patrol. You know, the innate system has a really simple but super effective philosophy. First off, it's always on duty. This is the defense you were literally born with. And it's nonspecific, which means it doesn't care if an invader is a bacterium or a fungus. If it's not you, it gets the same rough treatment. The main goal here? Stop invaders from getting in, and if they do, limit the spread immediately. And before you even need to call in the soldiers, your body has its own fortifications. You can think of them like castle walls. Your skin is a huge physical barrier, right? The mucus in your nose and throat, that's designed to trap particles. And the acid in your stomach? Well, that's basically a chemical weapon designed to destroy any nasty stuff you might swallow. Pretty smart. Okay, but what happens when an invader actually breaches those walls? Well, that's when you call in the phagocytes. I like to think of them as the cleanup crew of the immune system. Their job is simple and honestly kind of brutal. Find anything that doesn't belong and just engulf it. They just eat it. This whole process is called phagocytosis, and it's basically a cellular bear hug of death. It's awesome. First step, the phagocyte traps the bacterium. Then it actually wraps its own membrane around the invader, forming a little pocket and pulling it inside. After that, powerful enzymes just flood that pocket and completely break the enemy down. And the final step, it just spits out the harmless waste. Job done. But here's the thing, not all threats come from the outside. Sometimes the danger comes from within. Our own cells can go rogue, They can get infected with a virus or become tumor cells. That's where something called immune surveillance comes in. You have these amazing natural killer cells, NK cells, and they are constantly patrolling, checking our own cells for any signs of trouble. And if they find one, they destroy it. So, okay, the innate system is awesome for stopping the common thugs, the everyday invaders. But what happens when a really sophisticated enemy gets past those first defenses? That's when you call in the specialists. It's time to mobilize the elite tactical unit, the adaptive immune system. And this system is just incredible. It's defined by 4 key properties that are basically superpowers. First, there's specificity. It targets just one unique invader, like a laser. Then, versatility. It can respond to literally millions of different threats. Third, tolerance. This one's crucial. It knows not to attack your body's own healthy tissues. And finally, the big one, memory. It remembers past enemies and it never forgets a face. So the two main types of soldiers in this elite army are B cells and T cells, and they have really distinct missions. B cells, their job is to target invaders that are outside of our cells, just floating around. T cells, though, their mission is different. They have to eliminate our own cells that have already been infected. It's a critical difference. And T cells are so advanced, they actually have their own command structure. It's amazing. You've got helper T cells. Think of them as the generals who activate the whole response. Then there are the killer T cells, the assassins, who directly kill infected cells. And just as important, you have suppressor T cells, the peacekeepers, who call off the attack when the war is won. This is so, so important to prevent the immune system from going overboard and attacking healthy tissue. So while the T cells are handling the command and control, the B cells become the Army's weapons factory. Seriously. Once a general, a helper T cell, gives the order, a B cell morphs into what's called a plasma cell. And its new job is to just pump out a flood of these tiny little guided missiles called antibodies. We're talking millions of them, all custom built to lock onto one specific enemy. And all of this brings us to the adaptive system's greatest advantage. I mean, this is the thing that truly makes it an elite force. We're about to talk about its ultimate superpower, the power of memory. See, when a B cell or T cell gets activated for the first time, it basically clones itself into a huge army. But this army splits into two groups. The first group, the effector cells, are the soldiers who fight the current infection right away. But the second group, they're the veterans. These are the memory cells. They stay behind long after the battle is over, ready and waiting for a future invasion by that same exact enemy. And this is why memory is the ultimate superpower. Because those veterans, those memory cells, are already trained and waiting. The next time you encounter that same pathogen, your immune system launches a counterattack that is faster, stronger, and lasts longer. In fact, it's so fast and strong, you might not even realize you were sick at all. The invasion is crushed before it even gets a foothold. And if you're thinking, hey, this sounds familiar, you're right. This is the whole genius behind vaccines. A vaccine is basically a training mission for your special forces. It lets your adaptive immune system meet a harmless version of an enemy, so it can build up that army of veterans, those memory cells, without you having to go through a full-blown war. So when you put it all together, from the fast general force of the innate system to the intelligent learning army of the adaptive system, your body has this nearly perfect defense mechanism. It's protecting you 24/7, which really leaves us with one big, fascinating question, right? This system is almost perfect, so how do we train it to be even better? Now that we're starting to understand the instruction manual, can we harness this power for more? The answers could change everything.